Grey's Anatomy Season 22 started with a bang as it picked up right after the explosion that rocked Grey Sloan Memorial Hospital, but one line stated by Dr. Meredith Grey, Ellen Pompeo, that got lost in the chaos was so important that it shifted her entire character. Meredith witnessed the explosion and broke into the clinic in order to set up a makeshift emergency room to tend to patients during the tragedy. The Grey's Anatomy Season 22 premiere also featured the death of Dr. Monica Beltran, Natalie Morales, the near-death of Dr. Atticus, Lincoln, Chris Carmack, as well as plenty of other drama among the many doctors on the show. However, although it was easy to miss or forget, one simple line at the very beginning of the episode showed Meredith's growth as a character, and set up her Season 22 journey. Meredith called Nick right after the hospital explosion credit, ABC via Moviestills DB. After Meredith witnessed the OR floor explosion, she immediately called her boyfriend, Dr. Nick Marsh, Scott Speedman. At the very beginning of the episode, Meredith was seen talking on her cell phone, stating, "Hi, Nick. It's me. Listen, something happened at the hospital, and you're gonna hear about it on the news. But just know that I'm okay. I love you." Usually, Meredith's first instinct is to rush into doctor mode in order to help people in need. However, this time, she immediately thought of Nick and how he'd be worried when he heard about the hospital explosion. Meredith did the right thing by calling Nick to let him know that she was okay before getting so wrapped up in her doctor duties that she'd be unable to stop to speak to him. In addition, saying "I love you" to him was a very significant moment. Meredith thought of Nick above everything else for once credit, ABC via Moviestills DB. Throughout their Grey's Anatomy romance, Meredith has treated Nick more like a doormat than a cherished boyfriend. She's repeatedly taken him for granted. She decided to move to Boston without discussing it with him first, making him feel as though he wasn't really a part of her life. Meredith also lashed out at Nick when he rushed her son, Bailey, to the hospital when he was suffering from early appendicitis when she was away. Instead of thanking him, she berated him for making a medical decision regarding her son without her consent. Although Meredith eventually explained that she'd been doing things on her own for a long time, and it would take a minute for her to adjust to having Nick to help her, her harsh reaction was unacceptable. Meredith even once pretended not to hear Nick during a phone call when he told her that he loved her. This is why it was so significant and touching that she told him that she loved him during the Grey's Anatomy Season 22 premiere. She was finally putting him first in her life. Meredith's Grey's Anatomy Season 22 premiere phone call to Nick was easy to forget because the premiere was so jam-packed with emotion and action. However, it was a really important moment for her because it proved that her relationship with him could really work. While a woman calling her boyfriend to tell him she's okay after a catastrophe is expected, Meredith usually puts her career ahead of everything else, so the fact that she thought of Nick first at that moment instead of leaving him to wonder if she'd survived the blast was monumental for their relationship. Meredith and Nick seemed doomed because of her unwillingness or inability to fully welcome him into her life. However, Meredith's considerate phone call and heartfelt "I love you" prove that she's grown as a person. It's a welcome shift in her character that will hopefully lead to her continuing to move forward with her relationship with Nick during Grey's Anatomy Season 22.